Prophets still exist today, but many of us are confused as to what their function truly is. Some of us believe that God no longer calls prophets today, and that all of that is ancient past, ancient history, it's left in biblical times, early church times, etc. Others of us believe that they do exist, but their primary function is to foretell the future. And I want to say that even though the latter is partially correct, there's something even bigger that's hiding within the role of a prophet. We see this in Genesis 20 when God refers to Abraham as a prophet. And this was in terms of making intercession for a pagan king who took his wife away. What happened was Abraham entered into a land, and his policy with his wife is to tell everyone, hey, say that you are my sister. The pagan king takes Sarah and intends to marry her, and God shuts all the wombs of the king's household so that no one's having children, and he's about to kill the king. And he comes to the king in a dream and says, you are a dead man because you have taken someone else's wife. And then, long story short, he refers to Abraham as a prophet, and he tells the king, my servant Abraham, who is a prophet, will pray for you. And what I take from this text is one key function of a prophet is to make intercession, is to stand in the gap. What that means is when God reveals something to a prophet or a prophetess, the primary response should be to make intercession. We see this in the life of Daniel. Daniel is constantly praying for his people who are in exile. We see this in the role of Jeremiah. Jeremiah constantly was praying for his people to not go into exile. One of the key roles of a prophet is to make intercession. Yes, sometimes God does tell a prophet or a prophetess the future, but that is not the primary role. The primary role is obedience and to stand in the gap of a people who is not living up to what God has intended for them. And so I want to encourage you with this today. The next time you encounter someone who is a prophet, one, be very careful because you do need to test all prophecy, as scripture says. But two, are you seeing them as an intercessor or are you seeing them as a fortune teller? Let me know in the comments.